afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, counter-offensive gaming tycoon Atong Ang files a complaint against the whistleblower who linked him and actress Gretchen Barretto to the case of the missing sabungeros. The camp of Sean Diddy Combs claiming victory after he was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. He was convicted on 2 lesser charges. Britain's Princess of Wales opens up about her battle with cancer. And Lea Salonga set to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the case of the missing sabungeros. Gaming tycoon Atong Ang takes the whistleblower, previously known as alias Totoy, to court. In an exclusive interview with the Billionaire News channel, the witness Don Patidongan claimed the billionaire gambling mogul was the mastermind of the disappearances and also linked actress Gretchen Barretto. Joash Malimban joins us now from Mandaluyong for the details. Joash, go ahead.
Mai Billionario Atong Ang has officially filed a complaint affidavit earlier this morning against whistleblower Don alias Totoy Patidongan and Alan alias Brown Batines. Ang strongly denied any involvement in the case of the missing sabungeros, dismissing Patidongan's allegations as an attempt to gain public attention and extort money from well-known personalities linked to the issue. Ang's camp is also questioning Patidongan's credibility, pointing out that the whistleblower is allegedly facing multiple criminal complaints and charges. According to Ang, he only recently found out that Patidongan ran a separate business operation which was allegedly used for illegal activities and fund generation, a claim that directly contradicts Patidongan's narrative. In an exclusive interview with the Billionaire News channel, Patidongan accused his former boss, Atong Ang, of masterminding the disappearance of the missing sabungeros. He claimed that Ang funded his hiding along with 5 security guards from the Manila Arena who were earlier arrested in 2023, only to eventually plan to surrender them and have him killed to bury the case. Patidongan stated that he decided to come forward after receiving death threats from Ang, which he said also extended to his family. He further revealed that Ang allegedly conspired in involving, or he further revealed that the alleged conspiracy involves high-ranking officials, including at least 1 general and a police colonel. The whistleblower is now appealing to President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. for protection, expressing his confidence in Justice Secretary Boying Remulla and PNP Chief Torre to handle the case impartially.
Niya kayang bayaran ang Panginoon na nakatingin na siya alaga ang mastermind. Yan lang masasabi ko. Isa pa, nanawagan ulit ako kay Pangulong Marcos. Sana naman wag niya akong pabayaan. Ako ang susi lahat ng krimen na ginagawa ni Mr. Atong Ang. Alam ko lahat yan.
While Patidongan also confirmed that celebrity Gretchen Barretto is an alpha member of the group, he clarified that she is not one of the masterminds behind the disappearances. Mai.
George, Atong Ang says Patidongan just wants the spotlight. But if that's the case, why name names, including high-ranking officials and this high-profile celebrity? What's the strategy here?
Mai Ang claims that Patidongan has been extorting money from the high-profile individuals that he is implicating. In contrast, Patidongan insists that he has intimate knowledge of Ang's operations, having once served as one of his most trusted chiefs of security and manager of the farm properties of Ang, according to Ang himself. Mai.
Thank you, Joash Malimban, reporting to us from Mandaluyong City. Residents of Barangay Mariana in Quezon City are speaking out against the construction of 2 sports hubs in their neighborhood. They say they are prepared to take the matter to court if the projects move forward without full legal compliance. Speaking on Billionaire News channels at the forefront, the president of the Mariana Neighborhood Association said residents are ready to file a case if the certificate of exemption granted to the developers is not rescinded.
Some would like to pursue it all the way to the courts. If that certificate of exemption will not be rescinded or repealed or whatever you call it, in law.
So are you interested in filing a case?
We are going towards that. We hope they can convene this grievance committee thing, So everything will be laid on the table, and then, of course, for them again to decide whether to repeal or rescind that certification because there was no really public hearing para hindi na umabot sa court.
The controversy centers on the construction of two large-scale sports commercial hubs within the residential barangay, projects that residents say were greenlit without full consultation or compliance with zoning rules. Another resident, Robbie Raimundo, made it clear that the community is not opposed to development, but they demand that it strictly follow the law and due process.
I guess my only comment is let's follow the law.
The law.
Let's follow the law. If the law is enforced and followed, who are we to object to it?
Okay.
As political power stays within families, lawmakers renew the fight to ban dynasties and break their grip on public office. Joan Manalo reports.
After being repeatedly sidelined in Congress, a long-standing proposal to ban political dynasties is once again back on the legislative floor. House Bill number 209, one of the first measures filed in the 20th Congress by ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino and Kabataan Party List Representative Rene Co, seeks to define and prohibit political dynasties. The bill defines political dynasties as families or clans that concentrate, consolidate, and perpetuate political power by holding public office simultaneously or successively. Critics say this undermines democracy and blocks opportunities for others to lead. Unlike previous anti-dynasty bills that limited the ban to second-degree relatives, this version covers a broader scope, up to the fourth degree of consanguinity or affinity, which means this will include cousins, in-laws, and even step-siblings and great-uncles and aunts. Under the bill, family members will not only be banned from holding office at the same time, they will also be barred from immediately succeeding one another. Should this be enacted, candidates will be required to file a sworn statement with the Commission on Elections, declaring that they are not running alongside any relatives in public office. The COMELEC will also be empowered to investigate possible violations, even without a formal complaint, and offenders may be disqualified from the race. The Makabayan Bloc says the proposed bill is anchored on the 1987 Constitution, which mandates the prohibition of political dynasties, but only as may be defined by law. For decades, no enabling law has been passed. In the 19th Congress, only a handful of anti-dynasty bills were filed, and none made it past committee level. With another attempt now on the table, advocates hope the measure gains ground in a political system long dominated by political dynasties. Whether it sees progress or ends up shelved once again, this remains to be seen as the 20th Congress formally convenes on July 28. Joan Manalo, Billionario News Channel.
Weather Bureau Pag-asa warns of widespread rains in most of Luzon until Sunday because of a low-pressure area and the habagat or the southwest monsoon. For the latest on the weather, we have Pag-asa weather specialist John Manalo on the line. Good afternoon. John, go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Mai, and good afternoon to all our listeners. The low-pressure area that we are currently monitoring is located at 125 km east-northeast of Apari, Cagayan. It moves northwest towards Bicalayan, Batanes, and eventually it will move northeast towards the southern part of Japan. The LPA is currently bringing cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms over Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, Cagayan Valley, and province of Aurora. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon or habagat will bring occasional rains or continuous rains over Metro Manila, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, Cavite, Batangas, and Occidental Mindoro. The southwest monsoon will also bring cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms over western Visayas and the rest of Luzon. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies or clear weather is expected over the rest of the country, specifically throughout the Mindanao and eastern portion of Visayas. But thunderstorms or localized thunderstorms will bring rains over those regions or possible rains over those regions. That will be our latest from the DOST Pag-asa.
So itong LPA yung sinabi mo papuntang Japan, hindi ito magiging bagyo like we expected?
Noong mga previous days ay naka-high po tayo pero ngayon ay medium chance na tayo. Ibig sabihin, dahil malapit po ito sa kalupaan, mas kumonte yung posibilidad na mag-develop ito sa ganap na bagyo within the next 24 hours. Pero sa susunod na 40 or beyond that, ay may chances pa rin na maging bagyo siya.
Alright, John, yung isa pa no, na I understand, Pag-asa is monitoring a tropical storm but this is still outside the Philippine area of responsibility. Can you tell us more about this?
Ito pong tropical storm, ang pangalan po niya internationally ay Moon, M-U-N. It will not affect any part of our country. Pero minomonitor pa rin dahil nasa loob po siya ng TCID or Tropical Cyclone Information Domain natin sa Pilipinas.
To clarify, John, hindi ito papasok ng PAR?
Yes po, at papalayo pa po ito lalo sa ating Philippine Area of Responsibility.
Alright, maraming salamat for the update. Pag-asa Weather Specialist John Manalo. The no-contact apprehension policy now also being implemented around several academic institutions. Let's get the details from Andrea Salve, who joins us now on the line. Andrea, go ahead.
Mai, the Metro Manila Development Authority has begun installing NCAP CCTV cameras around several academic institutions located near Green Hills in San Juan City, particularly along Ortigas Avenue. The decision follows the observed traffic in the area due to vehicles obstructing 2 to 3 lanes, especially now that some institutions have started their classes. According to MMDA Chairman Romando Artes, this is to also address concerns about alleged corruption by their traffic enforcers. The agency will minimize the number of enforcers in the area and will limit their duty to strictly managing the traffic. Once the cameras are installed, NCAP will immediately be implemented. MMDA expects the completion of the installment in a week or two. Possible obstruction violators will be fined with a 1,000 peso fine for vehicles with drivers and 2,000 pesos for vehicles without drivers. This morning, Chairman Artes convened with the school representatives to discuss and improve the guidelines for the implementation. Among the institutions present are La Salle Green Hills, Xavier School, St. Pedro Poveda College, and Immaculate Conception Academy. The MMDA is also studying a 30-second rule for school drop-offs to be finalized with its stakeholders. Mai?
Thank you for that report, Andrea Salve. A shock verdict in one of the most closely watched celebrity trials. Sean Diddy Combs is acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. But while he dodged the biggest bullet, he's not walking free. The details from Ann Asis Carillo.
Today's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system.
The camp of Sean Diddy Combs celebrating the stunning verdict in his high-profile trial. The music mogul was cleared of sex trafficking and racketeering charges that could have put him behind bars for life. But he was convicted on 2 lesser counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs faces up to 20 years in prison.
I also have been saying this since the beginning of this case. Sean Combs has not sexually assaulted anybody. I've been saying this for months. We've said it with each lawsuit that came out, and today that was proven true.
Combs' sentencing is tentatively scheduled for October 3rd. Until then, he will remain at a federal jail in Brooklyn after the district judge rejected the defense's request for bail. The judge says it is impossible for Combs to demonstrate that he poses no danger. The verdict caps off a 7-week trial centered on disturbing testimony from 2 of his former girlfriends, including Fil-Am R&B singer Cassie Ventura. Combs was accused of forcing them to partake in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Both women testified that Combs beat them, threatened to withhold financial support, and leaked their explicit images. Ventura's lawyer is confident Combs still faces substantial incarceration.
We're pleased that he's finally been held responsible for 2 federal crimes, something that he's never faced in his life. He still faces substantial jail time. Of course, we would have liked to have seen a conviction on the sex crimes in RICO, but we understand beyond a reasonable doubt is a high standard, and we're just pleased that he still faces substantial jail time.
Combs, once a billionaire entertainment powerhouse, was known for lavish parties and shaping the careers of stars like Notorious B.I.G. and Usher. As the jury unveiled their verdict, his supporters and critics clashed outside the Manhattan federal court.
Let Puffy go! Let Puffy go! Let Puffy go!
It's very difficult to deal with it. Do I feel that justice was served? No, not at all.
I think that he doesn't walk away scot-free, and I think a lot of people wanted him to walk away scot-free because of his celebrity. But again, this is a celebrity versus morality, and I think the fair balance showed itself in the verdict today.
While Combs may have dodged a life sentence, the legal fight is far from over, as he still faces dozens of civil lawsuits accusing him of abuse. Ann Asis Carillo, Billionario News Channel.
The pressure is on for Republicans at the U.S. House of Representatives to pass President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill by his July 4 deadline. Debates are underway on the massive tax cuts and spending bill, which Democrats have vowed to block. They say it only benefits the wealthy while cutting services that lower and middle-income Americans rely on.
No American should go without food. This is a human rights issue. We live in the richest country on earth, for God's sake, and not a single kid in this country should go to bed hungry. Not a single damn one. And especially not when Republicans are giving millionaires and billionaires a big fat tax break. So I say to my Republican colleagues, what's wrong with you people?
Republicans say they expect to vote tonight on the measure. In Britain, the Princess of Wales opens up about her bout with cancer during a visit to a hospital in southeast England. Kate spoke about putting on a brave face while she battled the disease. She also emphasized the importance of continuing support after treatment.
You put on a sort of brave face, stoicism through treatment. Treatment's done.
Yes.
So I can crack on and get back to normal again, but actually the phase afterwards is really, is a really difficult journey. You're not necessarily in the clinical team any longer, but you're not able to function normally at home as you perhaps once used to. And actually someone to help talk you through that, show you and guide you through that sort of phase that comes after treatment, I think is really valuable.
It was in March of last year when Kate said she would undergo a course of chemotherapy for an unspecified form of cancer. In January, she announced she is in remission. We're taking a break. Up ahead, Charlize Theron drops a wild sex confession. The details when we return. Back on Newsfeed at noon, Lea Salonga is about to make her mark in the most iconic way. The Filipina theater icon will receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, joining the star-studded class of 2026. Other awardees include Miley Cyrus, Demi Moore, Air Supply, and Gordon Ramsay. Lea posted the news on Instagram and thanked the Manila International Film Fest for nominating her. She will be the first Filipina to receive the prestigious honor. Lea is most known for her Tony Award-winning role as Kim in Miss Saigon and for being the singing voices for Disney's Mulan and Princess Jasmine of Aladdin. Her latest role is a singing voice behind Celine, a character in the hit animated Netflix film K-pop Demon Hunters. Charlize Theron returns to the screen and she's not holding back. After a 5-year wait, the sequel to the 2020 action film The Old Guard has finally been released on Netflix. The Old Guard 2 continues the story of Andy, played by Charlize, who leads a pack of immortal warriors against a powerful enemy. And while she battles for immortality on screen, she keeps it real off screen. In an interview on Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy, the 49-year-old actress got candid about her sex life, including a one-night stand with a 26-year-old.
I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently a 26-year-old, and it was really amazing. Yes, and I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Women who come across as confident, women who come across as like outspoken, ones that wouldn't speak up for themselves, tend to also be in bed people who want to please males. Like, and I have found this in my experiences with talking to other women about this. Isn't it strange? Like, we should be the ones that are like, you, like, I'm gonna have an orgasm. And yet my whole life was so concerned about
Same.
the same. Okay.
Oh my God.
So my advice would be this: don't do that. For 2 reasons. You're gonna have better orgasms, and guess what? Your man's gonna like that.
Wow. Well, nowhere to go but up for Filipino tennis sensation Alex Ayala, following her inspirational campaign at Wimbledon. While officially still women's world number 56, the Rafa Nadal Academy graduate has moved up to number 54 in the live rankings, a new career high for the 20-year-old Pinay. Ayala is fresh off a brief but memorable main draw debut on center court, where she gained the respect of fans and defending Wimbledon queen Barbora Krejcikova. While she was eliminated in the singles first round, Ayala is still competing in the grass court classic, teaming up with Germany's Eva Lies in the women's doubles event. In football, a 6-0 rout over Cambodia puts the Philippine women's team on top of Group G of the AFC Women's Asian Cup qualifiers. Meryl Serrano returned from injury to score 2 goals, including a 60-yard stunner at the 36th minute. Midfielders Alexa Pino, Hallie Long, and Chandler McDaniel added to the tally. One win over Hong Kong this Saturday seals the Filipinas' Asian Cup return and keeps their 2026 World Cup hopes alive. For NBA fans, Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant is set to visit the Philippines next month. The high-flying sensation will be in the country August 2 for the final stop of his Make Them Watch World Tour for a sportswear giant. Morant and the Grizzlies lost to the eventual champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, in the first round of the playoffs this year. Ja was forced to wrap up the season after suffering a hip injury. And before we go, thousands of solar-powered lamps light up Rizal Park for a good cause and a world record. Here's a look from Hannah T.
A Guinness World Record set not in a stadium, but in a city park with thousands of solar lamps lit up as a symbol of hope. Litter of Light, together with Sun Life, the National Museum of the Philippines, and Odang Putik Art Space, unveiled the largest display of solar-powered lamps in the world, marking a powerful end to June as the World Environment Month. Unlike mass-produced lights, each of the 3,500 ceramic lamp holders was handcrafted by local potters. The goal wasn't just to break a record, but to celebrate community, tradition, and climate action.
Yung responsibilities po talaga ni Odang Putik Art Space ay lipunin yung mga potters, even yung mga traditional potters, para makagawa nung ceramic lamp holders.
Handmade siya from prototyping hanggang mass production, handmade siya lahat. So lahat yun dumaan sa bawat kamay nung Odang Putik team. Lahat yun, each letters, lahat handmade sila.
It was a joint effort that brought together artists, students, and volunteers all working towards one shared goal, bringing light to the most underserved communities in the country. after the display of thousands of handmade solar lamps here in Plaza Rizal, the lights are headed to communities with little to no electricity. It's more than a record. It's a mission to make sure no Filipino child is left in the dark. For Litter of Light, this record is not an endpoint, but a message to the world that solutions exist and they start with action.
Tama na yung awareness, ang mga conferences na pagkatapos hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin. That is, I guess, for many volunteers, disheartening, no? Na wala palang solusyon. That's not true. Meron kami solusyon. At makikita mo yan is 3,500 reasons na we provided hope.
After a limited exhibit at the National Museum this week, all 3,500 lamps will be donated to households and learning centers in Region 4A through the help of DepEd and local communities. Diaz says there's only a 10% success rate in every world record attempt, and they're happy and grateful to be holding that record with a cause. Before the Philippines, India set the last record of lighting over 2,200 solar lamps earlier this year. This is a historic first for the Philippines in that world record category. The exhibit is open to the public for a week, and to anyone interested in joining their initiative to bring light to communities, anyone may reach to Litter of Light. Hannah Tia, Billionaire News Channel.
And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay with the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.